Sometimes you enter a conversation to solve a problem, but somewhere along the way, the problem is no longer what is being discussed. Take a slow breath in and allow your attention to settle, just enough to notice what is happening. You are speaking about something practical. There is a real situation that needs to be handled. It has to do with timing, resources, or something that requires support. At first, the conversation stays focused. You are discussing what needs to be done and how to move forward. Then something begins to shift. The tone changes slightly. The focus moves. And without being directly stated, the conversation turns toward you. Your decisions, your timing, your responsibility. What began as a practical discussion becomes something else. This is not just problem solving anymore. This is moral pressure. It is a shift where the situation is no longer being examined on its own. It is being used to evaluate you. You feel it immediately. Your mind begins to respond. You start explaining more. You add context. You try to bring the conversation back to the actual issue. But something important becomes clear. Explanation does not reset the frame once it has shifted. Recognition does. You notice the pattern forming. If you continue explaining, you will not resolve the problem. You will reinforce the judgment. That is the interruption. You pause, not to withdraw, but to stop participating in the layer that is pulling you off course. And one thought becomes clear. If you defend yourself here, you lose focus on what actually needs to be solved. That thought changes your response. You do not need to correct every implication. You only need to return the conversation to its purpose. So you speak clearly. This is the situation I am dealing with right now. I want to focus on what needs to be resolved. You stop there. You do not justify further. You do not engage with the judgment. You do not try to repair how you are being perceived. You return to structure. Something shifts. The emotional layer may still be present, but it no longer controls your position within the conversation, because you are no longer responding to it. You are responding to the problem itself. And that matters, because once a situation becomes about your character, it becomes harder to solve. But the moment you separate the two, clarity returns. You notice something else. You almost moved into defense. You felt the pull to explain yourself more fully. But you recognized it before it became your response. That is the shift. You are no longer someone who absorbs judgment and reacts to it. You are becoming someone who recognizes when a conversation has changed form and brings it back to what actually matters. Not every situation needs to define you. Some situations simply need to be handled.